You're back with some breaking economic data this morning.
The U.S. economy added only 12,000 jobs in October. That is significantly less than expected. The unemployment rate held steady at 4.1%.
We are so lucky that we've got our economic dream team here to tell us more about these numbers and what it means for you. We've got NBC News business and data correspondent Brian Cheung and Investopedia's editor-in-chief Caleb Silver. Thank goodness that graphic was the bobble one. I appreciate that control room. Brian, let's start with you. Walk us through these numbers and how it varies from previous months.
Yeah, good morning, guys. A real disappointing jobs report that we got here. Let me just walk you through some of the numbers. As you mentioned, 12,000 jobs added in the month of October. That was well below estimates. Actually, economists were expecting something like 100,000 jobs in the month. Instead, what we got was something around here, just 12,000 jobs added. I do want to point out that there were a number of things that impacted this jobs report, which explains why it's so low. First off, you have the two hurricanes Helene and also Milton. And then you also have the Boeing strike, where over 40,000 workers in the Pacific Northwest went on strike during that period, actually still remain on strike, as you heard from Tom Costello. But one important thing to point out here is despite those things, the unemployment rate did stay the same. It's at 4.1% right now. But again, that headline number of just 12,000 jobs added in the month, certainly pretty disappointing.
All right, so Caleb, Brian mentioned the hurricanes there. Does that mean this is a blip, or is this saying something larger about the state of our economy right now, especially as we head into the election?
Yeah, I think of it as a blip because if you think about the average for the past 12 months, we've added 194,000 jobs a month on average. There were big revisions down for August, 81,000 jobs, down September, 31,000 jobs, fewer, but still 194,000 jobs a month. The unemployment rate is key. These are two different surveys, but if you look across the other numbers, the amount of long-term unemployed, the people that can't find work, they're almost exactly the same as they were last month, which is similar to the month before. So this has got to be because of the strikes and because of those two hurricanes.
And Brian, break this down by sector for us. Where are we seeing the biggest changes?
Yeah, well, again, because the headline number was so low, a lot of the, sorry, I just drew a straight line. Let me swipe to the next one. When we talk about leisure and hospitality, bars and restaurants, this was driving so much of the job gains post-pandemic. We actually saw a contraction in this space, 4,000 payrolls lost in the month of October. I actually have to go back into the data and see when the last time we saw a contraction in this industry was. It was basically a long time ago. Healthcare, though, this was one of the few bright spots in this report. 52,000 jobs added in the month. Construction jobs also did add about 8,000 jobs in the month. But I also want to add one more category. We were talking about the Boeing strike. Yes, the two hurricanes certainly impactful in the states of North Carolina, Tennessee, Florida as well for Milton. But over in the Pacific Northwest, as I mentioned, Boeing on strike, 44,000 workers there. If you take a look at that industry, we saw a contraction of 44,000 jobs, which basically maps almost one-to-one to the amount of people that are on strike there. Again, that's still an ongoing situation, so that might impact the next jobs report as well.
Caleb, yesterday we mentioned the Federal Reserve is meeting in
6 days, 5 hours, and 14 minutes.
And then again a month later, right?
Exactly, December 17th and 18th.
Does this change anything that they're planning to do?
No, because this shows that, even though we had this blip, if it's a blip, that they're still planning on lowering interest rates by a quarter point next week, about a 90% chance of that happening. And the Fed is also looking at wage growth here. That is up 0.4% month after month, 4% over the past year. So wages now far outpacing inflation. That's a good sign. And this is not going to be a great headline number by any means for anybody trying to get elected next week. But still, the economy is in pretty strong shape. And remember, 3 of the past 4 presidents entered the White House with a recession. We are not in one right now. We have 4.1% unemployment. The economy is still growing.
Brian, give us a little more info on that wage growth side of things.
Yeah, and I think that's one reason on the wages side that it basically underscores Caleb's point, which is that we are not at all in a recession. Because, yes, the headline number was bad, but this jobs report also told us that average hourly earnings, how much people's income is growing, went up by 4% on a yearly basis. If you map that against inflation over basically the same time period, it's 2.4%. Wages have been outpacing inflation. Your wallets have been growing at a faster rate than the price tags at the store. Wasn't always the case. Certainly wasn't the case during the summer of 2022. But this dynamic, especially going into that election, at least in this moment right now, inflation is not eroding your wage growth. And that's a big, important story that we need to remember, despite the fact that that overall headline number was so disappointing this morning.
Yeah, so just big picture here. What is this saying about our wallets right now?
Well, we are a little bit strained, but we're going into the big holiday season. We know people expect to spend more this year than last year. Some of that is prices. Some of that is the fact that people want to spend. But generally speaking, there are jobs out there. Wages are still growing. The unemployment rate is only 4.1%. That is close to full employment. The economy is growing right now. Not everybody might be feeling it, but if you're looking at the big headline numbers, we're looking at an economy that's in pretty decent shape.
Dream team, Brian, Caleb, thank you both so much.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.